And going live. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our another episode of Health Hack Thursday, your weekly dose of real life wellness tips, simple rituals, inspiring stories to support your health journey. I'm your host, Melissa Patterson, and I help high achieving moms release postpartum weight, exhaustion, and overwhelm so they can reclaim their energy, focus, and show up fully, both at work and at home. And as a holistic health practitioner, I'm deeply passionate about advocating for maternal health and supporting women through every season of motherhood. Through a holistic lens, I specialize in hormone balance, postpartum recovery, and digestive health, guiding women back to their vitality with personalized care and sustainable practice. So, my mission is to really support women in healing from the inside out. And I'm here with my co host, Meghan Calido. She is a skilled herbalist, aromatherapist, and a regenerative health practitioner. Her heart is deeply rooted in plant medicine. And today we're actually going to go over that to understand and highlight her amazing journey on why she decided to go into this health journey. Um, all the struggles, the breakthroughs, and all the powerful whys that led her into this world of health and wellness. So, welcome, and we are going to have this special um, episode highlighting Meghan. So, thank you, Meghan, for being here.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Yeah, so my health journey started in 20, I would say the end of 2018. Towards October, November, I started going to the doctor more. I was in so much pain. I lost my peripheral vision. I had bruising all over my body. I had rashes. I couldn't eat anything without feeling absolutely terrible. I literally had to sell my business because I couldn't have conversations. Like it would be in one ear, out the other. Like I felt confused 90% of the day. And I was doing everything that doctors had said to do. Like, they blamed ADHD because I couldn't focus. They blamed seizures because I was having these big memory lapses. It was like they were blaming all these different things, my anxiety and my depression. I was like, so my anxiety and depression were pretty much, I was like, those would be gone if I knew what was wrong with me. Like, imagine like your body's literally falling apart. Like, why wouldn't you be anxious and depressed that nobody's figuring it out? Like, so by February 2019, I was in bed all day. I could not get out of bed. I couldn't sleep at night. It was literally in the most pain of my entire life. Like, I was just wrapped up in fetal position. And it was around the same time two of our kids started getting sick and they were dealing with the same exact things that I was dealing with. And so then doctors started saying, like, oh, it's probably I'm putting my emotions onto them and they're having like sympathy. Or the other way around was also suggested that the kids are dealing with this. So, it's triggering me to have the same. And that's when I started thinking this is absolutely crazy because one of the children was my stepdaughter. So there was no genetic like correlation where she should be going through the same thing as me. And so I started like looking into our house. I was testing the water, I was testing the paint, I was trying to figure out if it could be something in our house, which got me labeled as crazy by the doctors. Um, but I was like, if it's not genetic, then it's got to be environmental. So at this point, I had no knowledge of herbs or anything, and I really couldn't even use my brain to start learning. And I always felt like our bodies, like my body was giving me signs on what was wrong, and that I just couldn't figure out exactly what it was saying. Like, and then you get into root cause healing or root cause, and you're like, okay, the root cause is the thyroid. So you support the thyroid. And then it got me thinking like, okay, but why is the thyroid off to begin with too? Like what is even past that? And I wasn't finding any of that in the holistic health realm. So I had gotten my associates, my bachelor's of science in integrative health, and I had all these certifications. And I was still feeling like I was doing with my clients, like take this for that or prescribe an herb for a problem. And I really didn't like that. And that's how I started off with me, like with kind of dabbling in herbs. And the reason I got into it so much was because I saw such swift healing. Like I couldn't eat anything, but I could drink herbal teas and I could do all this lifestyle stuff. I started doing meditations. I started doing breath work. I started doing diet changes, like any and everything I could personally to help my situation. It was working. Um, so within regenerative health, I really found that we're actually looking for the root problem. Like, why is that thyroid acting bizarre? Why is my body having so much pain? Like, where is the inflammation coming from? And really supporting the detox pathways and so that the body can clean up was what really got me. As far as regenerative health. So I got into regenerative health right after finishing bachelor's of science, and I was like, I finally have answers. There's answers. So
I love that because, when we say like the root cause and we think that we found it, especially when you say it's like hormones or adrenals or just the gut leaking. But when you go deeper into understanding even more, it goes beyond that. And it's always something that you find and you're like, oh, maybe I got this root cause now, but then there's still more. Why am I still feeling? So we are evolving and learning constantly. And the more we learn about ourselves and our body and how it works and how what type of food that we consume that can really support it. And I don't think that we're taught enough. We just eat just because we're taught to eat, but we are not taught that the reason why we eat is because we are trying to support our body in so many ways, not just energy wise, but also to prevent any type of chronic illnesses or diseases or anything like that. So I love that you say, like, I got to the root cause, but it was the thyroid. But then why is the thyroid not working? And why is that? So you have to constantly ask these questions and be curious because if you're not, then you're just masking and then you're not really getting to the actual root cause. And that's why it's called root causes. Somebody was telling me, one of my mentors, about like, weeds, and you can cut it and it grows back. And then you can kind of dig it out, it grows back. Because until you get to that root all the way down, all the way down deep, it's going to keep coming right back. And that's how any symptoms we have really is until you get to that actual root. And then you start to really get the benefits from what it is that you're experiencing. I know from the past that, all of this health issues that you were experiencing was because of mold toxicity. And a lot of people don't quite understand that. Like you said, you go to the doctor and they're like, oh, it's emotions. Oh, it's this. Oh, there must be something going on at home that's causing all these ailments. And because they can't physically see what's going on with you, that it just ends there. Like it must be something else. It must be something that but they don't go through that root cause. Like, let's dive deeper and figuring out where is this coming from. Last thing you really see, you can't really see mold toxicity in labs unless you actually ask for that lab. And that's actually really expensive.
yes, yeah, it is. The whole thing was a really expensive process, and I
Yeah.
think you know I had something I was going to say and it just left my little brain. So I'm just going to stop there.
That's okay. Yeah, excuse me. The kids are screaming. Um, yeah, I think that, we talking about like mold toxicity, I think that my kids and I had that experience and actually saw the mold growing from my wall. It was black, it was behind my dresser, and I was like, no wonder why we all felt this way. And again, I went to the doctor and I was like, I think we have mold like issues in our body, and I have all these symptoms, that. They did all the lab work and they're like, no, you're fine. It's not mold. But they didn't really look for that. And then when they said, well, you can go figure it out and go see if you have mold in the house, I'm like, I know I have mold in the house. I'm looking at it. It's black. And but they're like, well, you need some mold expert to come and check the air and all this. And that's really, really expensive. And then to come to understanding like how much all the stuff that you have to go through just to figure out what's wrong with you and the time, the money, the worry, and everything that you have to invest to try to just figure it out when you go to the doctor and that's their job, right?
It's interesting when you are going the allopathic route that they break the body into specialties. And so I was seeing a ton of ologists. Like I had an endocrinologist, I had a rheumatologist, I had a neurologist, I had gastrointestinal doctor. Like I had all of the dermatologists. Like I was going through all of these different ologists and nobody was talking. Nobody was each other, so they had broken my body apart into this for this, this for this, this for this. And really, when we're working with regenerative health and root cause healing, like we need to look at the body as a whole because the body is always working as a whole together. And I really, truly, truly believe that our bodies are always working for us. Like our body's job is to keep us alive. Like it is always fighting to keep us alive. And so for having all of these symptoms, it really is a good sign that the body is trying really, really hard to keep fighting the good fight for you every day. So like, when we make these diet changes, when we make these lifestyle shifts, like it just makes the body not have to work so hard so that it can catch up with cleaning up the mess. And that's really what I love to teach people. And I have August 1st, I have a group starting for month zero cleanse. And it's called Cleanish. And we're just walking into that, making those little shifts, like making all and learning the reasons to why the body's doing what it's doing and what we can do to help support it. So, like, starting with the foundation, because all that is going to be super important when we do want to jump into a detox later.
Yeah, it is. Going back to the basic is always, always my go-to before I really start the process because it is a process, and that's why you don't become a pro bodybuilder if you didn't work out and go through the process and do all the trainings and things like that. You just don't automatically wake up and say, "Hey, I'm a pro bodybuilder." So there is a process in all of this. You don't wake up in the morning and say, well, I talked to Megan and now I should feel better. Right? It really is a huge process and there's just really baby steps. And that's what I like. It's just really, really going down to the baby steps. Let's get back to how we were supposed to be. What is going on with the body? What is going on with your lifestyle? Rather than like, we're not here to do quick fixes. People have been doing that for many, many years and it's not working, and I've seen it from time and time again on how much none of this stuff is working for anybody. I had somebody I was speaking to and they were on medication for 10 years and they're like, well, I think it's working. It's working. And I'm like, well, then why do you still feel this, and this? But then you have all these medication that you've been taking for 10 years. So something's not working, because if all you have like 10 or 12 medication that's supposed to make you feel better, but yet you still feel worse. And maybe sometimes you might not have but symptoms, but yet you still have those everyday headaches, you have those bloatiness, you have those fatigue, constant like irritation, or even not having time to not being able to sleep at night. That chronic sleep deprivation is so huge here, and people think that that's just normal behavior, but it's not. Our mind and our brain is meant, and our body, our entire body is meant to rest. Without rest, we cannot heal and it cannot function properly, which is why we wake up and we just do it all over again. And we do this for what, 30, 40, 50 years. And then now we're in our, so-called old, and it's just meant to be. And it's not, it isn't, you know. And I loved talking to another colleague of mine who she's in her 80s, and she's like, yeah, you know, I'm in my 80s and people my age think that it's normal to just sit around at home and be in pain and complain and not have a good life while I'm over here still dancing and you know, and it's just so lovely to see that it's not because she ate healthy, but because she really took the time and care and love to put into herself. And I think that that's what we do as holistic health practitioners, is to really learn how to love ourselves. And I love all the things that you have gone through and what put you through. I know that you did it so quickly, and letting people know like what you went through, but it was a long process. And I know, you know.
And he kept thinking, like, where's the end of the tunnel? I have when clients first start off, that are dealing with mold or Lyme, they're like, is there an end to this tunnel? Like, is there light? And I just finished working with a Lyme client, and she was so sweet at the end of it. She said, I feel like there's light at the end of the tunnel now, and it's not a train coming at me. It's actually like there's an end in sight. And I was like, that is the most amazing thing, you know?
It just got me chills. Those are like my favorite, when they're starting to really realize that this isn't how life should be. And, you know, I love what you do, and I love the knowledge that you share with everybody. And so kind of tell us a little bit more that what really triggered you in creating this store, the store that you put so much time and effort in. I mean, I've watched it grow from just last year all the way to now, and all the things that you're doing with it. And it's just been so fun to watch you, you know, grow in business and even in health. You know, you look so, I mean, you look great back then, but you look even better this year because you have.
Feel like I'm reversing time.
Yes.
Wow. I just celebrated my 41st birthday yesterday, and I'm like, I don't feel like I even, like, I was concerned at 30, like, oh my God, what am I going to look like? So yeah, there was definitely a need for a herbal store here locally. Um, and I wanted a storefront where I can meet with people to do health consults, and to hold classes. So my store is right behind me, but there's the whole middle of it is open so that when we hold classes, there's a space to put chairs out and learn. And so yeah, I really love teaching people what's possible. I love helping people to feel empowered, like they're better than knowing that, like, wait a minute, I didn't need to rely on a doctor, I didn't need to rely on a pharmaceutical. Like, those maybe not be available for us at some point. And there's just so much, I don't know. I just feel really empowered, and I want everyone to feel empowered when they take control of their health. So I definitely needed a physical location to do that. And then now I'm getting to expand a little more online.
Yeah, I love it. I love how you put your business together as well. It's very cozy and calming. So let everybody know where you are, where they can find you, and how can they visit your store if they're even, you know, visiting upstate New York. Guys, come check her out, and then you can kind of share a good health hack for everybody to be able to do today.
Yeah. So I'm located in Oriskany, New York, upstate New York. It's 101 River Street, Oriskany. I used to have store hours. I would post daily. But now that the consults have picked up, you can schedule an appointment to come and shop the store or come and ask me questions. And that's on www.315herbs.com, under appointments. So yeah, and you can come in anytime. It's great. But
And that's great because then anybody all over, right, can do a consult with you virtually. So we're going to put that link in our comments so you can have a nice conversation with Megan. So now tell us a great health hack that everyone can do to just support just a little bit.
okay. So the biggest shift I see in people's energy, literally, this is the very first thing I have everyone do. Warm lemon water in the morning. Very first thing, as soon as you wake up, have some warm lemon water. You're going to wait 30 minutes till you eat and then break your fast with either melons, berries, red grapes, or citrus. And then go about your day. Have your coffee after that. Do what you want to do after that. But just adding that one thing in is going to wake up your digestive system and support your liver and kidneys. So you got three organs that you are just loving up first thing in the morning. That's going to help you feel better throughout the whole entire day. So, yeah.
That is, I knew it. You were going to say that.
And it is, it's where I start everybody. And it's so funny. I have a woman who's a little bit older, and she said, I've been telling all my friends, like, they don't know what they're missing. Like, this is like an energy hack at its finest. She's like, I did not think, fruit and lemon water would be the key for me. And I'm like, it is. It really is just waking up good and having a great day, keeping those blood sugar balanced all day. So it's absolutely amazing.
It also helps with belly fat, like lessening that belly fat, like that just little tiny belly fat that you have, and you drink this every morning with warm water, and it's a great routine to continue to have every morning, and it's refreshing. I had someone who says, I don't like the taste of lemon. So I'm like, okay, just add honey to it to, making it better. But I know it really truly does make a big difference for our health, and it's so simple to do, right? So if anything else, try that and see how your health is. We challenge you to do that for the next week and see where your energy is, and just your a little bit of motivation, and leave it on a comment and let us know how it is for you. And for everyone watching, remember, healing is a journey, and sometimes the simple habits like you know, drinking lemon water, warm lemon water, or walking for 5 to 10 minutes outside in the sun is really, really good. And it makes a huge difference in our daily life. And so, if you want to learn more or connect with either one of us, again, we're going to drop the link for Megan so you can have a little chat with her. And if you found this valuable, please like, share, and tag a friend who could use this inspiration. And we'll be back in a couple weeks with more expert tips and health hacks to support your wellness journey. So make sure to follow us and stay tuned. Thank you again for spending your time with us today, and take care of yourself and keep showing up fully. And I'm not sure if you wanted to add anything else.
I feel like I talked a lot today.
Great. Yeah, you rarely ever talk, but when you do, it's so powerful. So we love having you all the time, and I love being with you. So thank you so much for sharing your journey and your passion and your mission to really just make everyone feel better. That is our goal. That is what we are here for. We know because we've experienced it in our lives and have seen countless of individuals that come to us for support and guidance. So until next time, everybody, please be kind to yourself, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Bye.